Welcome to the Nanny Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm your host, Hanna Schaer from Riviera Nannies. I am so happy you're here. Today, we're going to talk about cell phones. I think we can all agree that cell phones are really useful tools. We can choose to do a little or a lot on them. Some people use them just as phones, some people phone and text, and some people use them as a camera. Some use them for social media and lots of other things. A few months ago, I went to a really interesting talk with Elizabeth Milovidov from digitalparentingcoach.com. And she talks about children and technology, and I thought her talk was really inspiring. And I'm not going to talk to you in this podcast about children and technology, but I'm going to talk about us and technology. There's a lot of similarities, though, and the most important points are the same. I personally think technology is awesome. Thanks to technology, you're listening to me right now. I recorded this on my computer, edited on a user-friendly software, and I brought it to you through syndication to your iTunes and Android apps, and you're listening to me on your device, most likely. And that's pretty awesome, don't you think? We use advanced technology for our client and nanny intake in our agency, both for safety, efficiency, and for ease of use. The problem, I think, is when we're not in charge and when we can't stop. You might be surprised that a tech fan like me, who always ends up in tech conversations at social events, and I love learning about new technology, I do a few things entirely offline. For example, I use an analog watch and I use a paper calendar. For me, it's through trial and error that I found that those are the things that I don't need to distract me on my phone. I'm more focused, I'm more efficient, and I'm more present with the things I'm doing when I keep those things separate from my digital devices. I am not a multitasker, and if you want to be present, focused, and do what you're doing well, you shouldn't be either. There's quite a bit of research done on efficiency and multitasking, and it looks like if you want to do something really well, you need to focus on it. And I want to talk about two things that really apply to nannying when it comes to cell phone use. The first thing is what mindlessly being on your cell phone when working tells your family, both the children and the parents. And I will give you an example of their perspective of it. You might not like it. The other is how you can protect yourself and your family, especially if you're working with a high-profile family. This is definitely a conversation you have to have with them about technology at work. You and I both know that mindlessly being on our cell phones, and I'm talking about checking social media, scrolling through lists of useless information and playing games, is a waste of our time. When we're doing it, we don't feel it, we're numb to it, but it is a waste of time. There's research done surveying how people feel on different apps, and the ones I'm talking about make us feel worse. Well, there are ones like meditation apps that make us feel happier. In my opinion, you should never be mindlessly scrolling or messaging on your phone, checking messages, texting, or spending time on social media when you're at work. What you do in private at home is your business, but practice self-care when at work and do not fall for the black hole of time that is mindless scrolling. And that's even if the kids are asleep. I promise you there are things for you that are better for you that you can do. If you have to be on your phone, try an app like Headspace and take care of yourself. Or read a book. You can absolutely not be present and take care of the kids physically and emotionally the way they need if you are distracted by notifications on your phone. Likes on Instagram or messages on Facebook will be there later. And you know what? They don't matter. If you want to indulge and use the platforms, I sure do it after work and do it in moderation. Make sure you're using tech, not the other way around. Families ask us how to talk to their nannies about tech, about using their phone during work, and I think it's pretty obvious that when you work, you do not mindlessly mess around on your phone. If you need to be able to call or be reached, that's fair enough, but otherwise, you don't really need it. And I don't think it's unreasonable to expect the person you've hired and that you're paying to take care of your child to not be distracted by their phones. What do you think? The second thing I want to talk about is really important. It's your safety. Do you know that to protect the conversations and integrity of my clients and myself, I don't have Facebook app or the Messenger on my phone. I use completely encrypted apps to talk to people, and that's me. That's what I do personally. Imagine this. You've given permission to a big social media app to have access to your photos, your SMS conversations, and your microphone. You're at work with your kids, and you take some photos of them. All your photos are then able to be accessed by the app. And with the access to the microphone, it listens to your conversations. That's how you sometimes get freaky ads in front of you, apps that are listening. Do you know what access you've given to apps on your phone? Have you had the conversation about internet safety with your family? Do you even really know where to start? Many families and nannies talk about photos of the children. Some families want photos to see what's going on during the day. And how do you choose to share them? Who has access to them? And have you thought about this? I'm not saying all these things to scare you. I'm just saying it to make you aware of things that you really need to think about and have a conversation with your family about. And you know what? When I removed the Facebook app and Messenger from my phone, I felt such a relief. And I got back hours every day. I didn't think I was on it that much, but it was such a distraction for me. So my recommendation to you is to think about it. Take off all the things that distract you. Turn off notifications. Decide times that you check messages. It's completely and totally okay to not be available all the time. You might not even need as much headspace after reducing the number of things that demand your attention every day. You're welcome. Thank you so much for listening today and for spending some time with me. I am very thankful for you. Today's episode is brought to you by Mama Toto, the community for moms through pregnancy and birth and into motherhood. Go and check them out at mamatoto.info and join the club. If you would like to know what we're up to, I'm going to go completely contrary to what I just said and ask you to head over to Instagram and follow us on Riviera Nannies. Just do it in moderation, please. And don't get stuck. Don't get stuck scrolling. I'll see you next week. I will be talking to one of our awesome nannies, Deidre, and she's going to be sharing her story as a nanny with us then. That's going to be really exciting. Bye.